Welcome to the Pixelship podcast. Happy 125th birthday to Nintendo. Let's talk about that for a second. 125 years ago, Nintendo started making, cards?
Okay. We're talking Hanafuda card, fucking
Right.
Nintendo.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not that old, asshole. What?
No, yeah, Nintendo, 125
They
years
made
ago.
toasters and shit.
No. They didn't make
125 years ago?
They made cards. They made, collectible, stupid cards.
Yeah,
made,
but
like,
they've
a
made
hand
toasters.
Did they?
They made
appliances.
They made a grabber, too, right?
Yeah, the hand grabber. There's like a shitty game on Club Nintendo where you can relive the magic of the Nintendo hand grabber.
And you can get it right now for their 125th birthday, which is great.
No.
The hand grabber?
No, I don't know, whatever. You might be able to find one.
Shitty game download,
Right.
and I forget. Don't do it.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, let's do some introductions. The crew of the Pixelship. Myself, Neil LeBeau, joined by Ryan Hayes,
Oi, oi.
Ryan Blandy,
I am a little girl.
and the returned and triumphant Joel Hartlob.
Vast.
Joel, it has been too long, my friend.
This
Months.
is true.
It's
is
been
very...
months.
I don't know about that.
So Joel's going to have lots of stuff to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Before we get to that, does anyone else want to touch on the 125 years of Nintendo? I'd say probably the longest-running video game corporation.
I
find it funny that the year of Luigi is the worst year in 125 years.
Is this year the year of Luigi?
No, last
I
year.
thought that was last year. Yeah,
Last year.
okay. What is this
I
year?
still find it funny.
The year of Waluigi.
Wow, Luigi's the best.
Is it really the year of Waluigi?
No, it's the year of,
they,
oh my
they stopped
god,
naming years.
we need to get our company in the black before we all fucking have to kill ourselves.
It's the year of
That's-
holy fuck! We haven't sold a console in 19 months.
Quick, come out
they
with
sell-
another
they
3DS.
sell now, man.
Yeah.
They're selling pretty well.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
Smash is coming soon.
Smash
Smash
is
is
coming.
coming, and freaking Mario Kart's what did it.
No. Smash
Yes.
is what did it. Mario
That-
Kart is what made people bite the bullet early.
I think that's a good point.
Smash is coming out for the 3DS. No one's buying a fucking Wii U.
No.
I
no way.
beg to differ.
I
Yeah.
will likely buy a Wii U for Smash.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that.
like-
I think that
Joel
online
is going to buy a
3DS.
Wii U. I'm
I've
sorry, Joel.
tried the demo, my good sir, and yeah,
What does that
I'd
mean?
rather buy it for Wii U.
I'd rather buy it for the Wii U too, but that's because I really need to buy games for my Wii U.
Yeah.
No, like control scheme, like people are destroying their 3DSs because you can't use the D-pad for movement.
Just in time for a new 3DS. Nintendo's got you covered. This one even has a fancy thumbstick.
Yeah, for the new 3DS that's not coming out till next year.
Well, no, they're coming out with new regular 3DSs too. They're coming out with like a transparent blue and red one too, aren't they?
For 2DSs plus
No.
the new
Oh, is it just
3DS XLs. But the
Yeah.
whole point is, I already bought a 3DS. I do not want to buy another one. Just because I'm manhandling trying to beat you in Smash.
No. You know the reason why you don't want to buy another one is because you're cheap and poor and you can't afford anything. Everybody needs to have 3 or 4 DSs. Everybody knows that. That was their goal from the beginning.
Well, you
I
need at
still
least
have
3
my
to
original
3DS.
3DS. I think I'm about time for an upgrade, but I'm very disappointed if we're not going to get the Super Famicom buttons.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Super Famicom is cool. It's different. And it's neat. And
You compared it to Clown Throw Up. You offended me, good sir. I love that controller.
It is kind of clown throw up. The original Famicom, I love. I love that red and that color of
Tan.
red that they have. That like deep burgundy is a sick fucking color for a video game console. But then they went clownish with it with the Super Famicom, and I'm just not that huge of a fan of the look. But to each his own. Whatever. You like it, and that's good for you.
No, we're the one to say to each his own. You're a crazy person.
What? What do you mean? You don't like the original Famicom?
No, I like the original Famicom, and I
Why-
also
why
like
did
the
you have
Super
to plug the
Famicom.
controller into the Famicom? Why was that hardwired? Was technology not at that point yet?
Well,
They
um,
they they
I don't.
didn't
I don't.
they didn't think about it.
The old
Was
school
that anything to
Ataris.
do with like? Wasn't there like a microphone in it?
There
Like, was that
was.
Yes,
part of
there
it?
You're
was.
absolutely right. There was a microphone in the controller. That's why it had to be hardwired.
Yeah,
That seems
they did
wasteful.
away with that shit.
Yeah,
Did
and
anyone use that fucking microphone in the Famicom?
that's
It-
what I said when the 3DS came out. Is anyone going to use that fucking microphone?
WarioWare does.
Yeah, you blow on it and it's amazing. Oh wow, we've had this technology since 1982. It's
Hey, I
great.
used the microphone on my Wii U for the Super Mario World. I did that this weekend.
All right, cool. But yet it's wasted on the Famicom.
Yeah.
It was ahead of its time. Ahead of its time.
Happy
Anyway,
125 years, Nintendo.
yeah, yeah. We like some of your shit.
Hey, you blast.
All right. So I guess it brings us to the point where we talk about what we've played. I'm going to start this week. I never start, and I'm going to start. This week I played one game of League of Legends. And it
How did
yeah.
that go?
It
Did you
was
win
awesome.
at least?
I did. I destroyed Face. I had
Okay.
like 22 ganks. It was probably my best game of League of Legends.
Are you? Have you? I'm sorry. Since I missed. Have you moved up to human opponents yet?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. And human opponents, much easier than intermediate bots.
Really?
True story. Yeah, true story.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm also. We explained this last week, but you're put against people that are the same level as you,
Right.
and apparently there aren't very many skilled level 12 players. Out
So
there.
if anything, you should play with people right off the bat.
Right.
That's probably better that way.
Agreed. Agreed. You should probably play with people right off the bat.
Because we've been playing with bots.
We have been playing with bots, and that's. I think that's. I don't know why.
I think that's a legitimate way to at least understand the very basic parts of the game,
Right.
and then moving on to
It's really fear of the elitism that is
This
found in the
is also
Momorga
true.
community, I think.
also true.
Has a good amount to do with it. But anyway, that's all that I played. So mine's nice, short, and sweet.
What?
We've talked 2 weeks in a row about League. I'm sure you don't want to hear anything more about
Just out of curiosity, what
Go.
character did you play?
it. Annie. Always Annie.
Okay.
I pretty
Did
much
she get her gun?
exclusively play Annie. She does not have her gun, but she does have a teddy bear named Tibbers.
Oh, all right, all right.
Was she okay?
Annie was, in fact, okay. She was okay,
Okay.
Annie. But she was struck by and hit by a smooth criminal. Anyway.
Oh, how appropriate.
Definitely. Definitely. Joel, let's go on to you. It's been so long since we've heard you.
Cool.
Yeah. So what have you played, sir?
Well, really, I haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to play a bunch of video games. However, this past weekend, I took the time to play. Well, I got Injustice
Nice.
on Steam for like $7.50.
Yeah, fucking steal.
Yeah, so I picked that up
Yeah.
and started playing through the story and all that. It's cool. It's very much. I mean, I didn't really look into it that much, but I'm assuming that it was developed by the same people that like did Mortal Kombat.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, because it feels like a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, it's Mortal
It's-
Kombat, however,
With DC superheroes.
DC's.
And it's cool. Like I like it. I mean, obviously, I've only played like the story mode this whole time. But it's still one of those games. You know, you always gotta play with a friend. So
Sure. Oh,
But-
yeah,
Yeah, was
you gotta run it with a friend at least.
yeah.
once.
Does anyone have
Was
it on
the same
Steam?
engine as 10?
I have it on Steam.
Okay, good. Well, you'll probably kick my ass because you're.
I've
ridiculous
actually
at
never
fighting
played
games.
it on Steam. So
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just with the controller. Like I can't imagine it's going to be any different than on a console, as far as the gameplay is concerned. But
You would think not, but I don't know.
oh, okay.
I own it, and I sheerly bought it. during
Play
the
with
sale 'cause I love it.
keyboard.
I'll play with the
Yeah.
keyboard. I actually remember the first time I played a Mortal Kombat game on a computer, and it definitely was with a keyboard. It was MK2, and it was painful.
I've done the fighting game with emulators on a keyboard before, and it is very fucking painful.
That's the worst part about emulators. Before you actually get a brain and get a controller, you're you trying to struggle through the keyboard and mouse or just the keyboard usually, and it's always just fucking awful. Yeah.
Here's
The
my
only one-
question. Sorry, here's my question, and this is a side note. It has somewhat to do with this. With the, do any of you have the the Microsoft controller for Windows, the wireless adapter for it?
No.
Yes,
Someone said yes. Who said yes?
I did. I said
Okay.
yes.
Is it possible to sync multiple controllers to that?
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm going to believe the person who has it, so...
I'm reasonably certain I have.
I
Why
can-
are you saying
I'm
no, Ryan?
pretty sure.
I can very easily test this, I just haven't done it yet. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
almost
could be
certain.
mistaken, but I could have sworn I've used.
It
Me,
transmits. It transmits on
On
one.
an RF frequency, right? You would
Yeah,
think,
one
and it would be one
frequency.
band.
You need dual bands for
Maybe I was
dual-
using my wired PS or my wired Xbox One and Xbox 360 controller wirelessly. That is a distinct possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I
It's
think
curious.
Ryan sounds like he's... Blandy sounds like he's right. I don't
Okay.
think that... Because how would it know the difference between the two?
This is true.
I mean, there's four. Oh, there's not four little bars. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Just a thought. Anyway,
cool.
but yeah, Injustice is cool. I'm down with it. It's obviously, I've just started out and I haven't gotten to play like any particular character for a long time because they switch you around pretty quick in that.
Do you like the story?
It's interesting. It's different.
I like the story.
The voice acting is amazing.
It is. That's true. And they have a lot. I know they have a lot of people that they've gotten for other TV shows and stuff too. Like I recognize at least one voice from Teen Titans and.
Yes.
Stuff like
Yeah. The Cyborg is
Yep.
the same.
Yeah.
He's exactly the same. It's awesome.
Yes. Very awesome. All right. Cool. Anything else that you...
Yes.
All right. All right.
I just randomly got back into a Dragon Ball Z kick, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because, long story short, found like this awesome mix of music online on YouTube that was like someone like remixed a bunch of like the themes and stuff like that. It was like a 2-hour mix, but that was all I listened to for a little bit. And so I got the itch, watched the 4-hour version of Frieza and Goku going at it.
Nice.
And then went to Just Press Play with the intention of getting like the Seasons box sets because they have like that box set deal for used stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And instead picked up like this game. It was Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi.
Oh, yes. I'm familiar.
I had Tenkaichi 2, Budokai Tenkaichi 2 for the Wii, which I really, really liked, and no one wants to play it with me because I don't know,
You're too good.
I wreck face, but
Nice.
this game, it's very different, and like I like it because there's like a hero mode where you like create your own character and all that stuff, and I thought that was cool.
Definitely.
And like it's like there's like a separate story and all that stuff. But that game's a little different in the fact like it's a little bit more about resource management than it is about the actual like skill, I think, in the game. I think that's actually kind of like the down part.
And what console did you get this for, and how much did it run you?
It was 360 and it was $25.
Okay.
I feel like I've played a few of them, and I cannot determine the difference between any of them.
I think that there are like a run of 4 of them that are very, very similar, and then
Okay.
there's like 2 or 3 of them that are just way different than the other ones.
Do any of them have like adventure modes? Like, have they made an adventure Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z
Oh,
game in
absolutely.
a while? Oh, okay.
DBZ
I mean, it
sagas.
depends on what like this one, like these you just go through the fights. Like you can fly around the world and stuff like that, and like, but there's not really a whole lot of exploration or anything like that. It's
Nothing
just-
in the world to do.
I mean, there's like little side fights, but it's nothing interesting. It's more or less just to get experience to like strengthen your character. They have a couple games. Like there was one they've had out for DS. It was like the Saiyan Saga. It was an RPG, and it was actually pretty cool. I liked it. I never got to finish it before my DS broke, but it was a good one.
It's a good time.
All right. I think that game is a lot too much flying the fuck around. The one for the DS.
There's a lot of flying
There's a
around.
lot of fucking flying around. I bet, but once again, that goes back to me not extraordinarily being crazy about RPGs.
Yeah.
So
Or even the show not accomplishing jack shit and just a bunch of people flying around and then fighting one-on-one.
You
That was
bite your
my
fucking tongue when you're talking
favorite
to
part.
us.
I'm not
Oh,
saying it's bad. I'm
it's a
saying nothing
singer.
happened. It was the lost of children's Saturday morning cartoons where you watch 5 episodes and nothing got fucking accomplished.
Yeah.
But it was so cool.
No,
Like,
hey man, that is one of the greatest opening theme songs ever fucking written, in my opinion.
Did you know that
The
they
American.
actually made a Rock the Dragon version? Like, the American version. Because the other ones just... Yeah, yeah. They came out with a, like, 4 DVD set of Rock the Dragon version, Dragon Ball Z. And it's worse. It's absolutely worse. But... but,
Whatever.
but it's the shit that we know from Toonami, so, you
yeah.
know, the 26 to 35-year-olds eat that shit up.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Rock motherfucking dragon.
Yeah. All right. So you rocked the fucking dragon a little bit.
I did a lot.
Any other greatness?
No, not really. I played a little bit of League, but I don't know. I'm just not into it.
So is everyone off the Doter? Are you guys
No.
all on League?
I mean, kind of, not really. I would rather play Dota, but we won't get into that.
They just had a big update.
I don't know about any of that. I haven't really been paying attention to either of them because I don't know.
Is
But
Shocktober or Frostivus coming up or any of that bullshit?
Frostivus. I like it.
either way, like you said before, you guys talked a lot about League the past couple podcasts, so we
Fair
won't
enough.
get into it.
Fair enough. Indeed. Cool. All right. Well, I guess then we'll be moving on to Mr. R. Blandy.
Destiny.
Tell me about the events that have happened in your gaming life.
Destiny.
Did you play any raids? You raiding yet?
No, I haven't. I don't play with people. I farm. I farm for Equipmunk. I farm a lot. That's what I do now. I
so you
farm
hit-
for Equipmunk, so that I can be bigger level.
What level are you?
I am now a level 24 because of my Equipmunk.
So what's the
and-
theoretical cap with equipment?
Wait, what?
Like, what theoretically can you get up to with equipment upgrades at this point? 30?
Actually, today, the first 30, level 30 character was produced.
So is that it? Like, you stuck at 30? Like, what?
No. You could still keep going. As
Okay.
long as you get this Equipmunk. It's all chance now.
Weird.
Sweet. I'm sick of fucking
Weird.
Destiny.
I'm not.
That's been out for like a week.
It is still amazing.
Well, I think we
Now
talked about
they're just putting out new stuff. They
Yeah.
just put out another thing to collect, another thing to do.
True.
Has to do with the Queen. Queen of that ass.
Right. Well, I think we sufficiently covered Destiny as well in our Microsoft Destiny podcast. So, do you have any other games that you played, sir?
Nope.
Cool.
All is Destiny.
All right. Well, then we're going to move on to Ryan Hayes. Ryan Hayes, tell me about your video game career.
My career. Well, it all started in 1987 when I unpacked my Nintendo Entertainment System one Christmas morning. Got really into Super Mario Brothers. Duck Hunt was kind of a passing interest. But then in 2014, I decided to start playing some PS1 games again. I don't know why. I have a whole stack of PS1 games. They're fairly prevalent at thrift stores nowadays, so I've just been kind of scooping them up. And I had picked up a copy of Fear Effect, which
That's a good game.
yeah,
I'm not
I've
familiar.
never played it. It is.
Yeah, Fear Effect 1 and 2, and she's a lesbian.
I have not gotten to that part yet.
Way to
But
fucking
yeah,
bury
it's
the lead.
basically super spy kind of.
I thought it was a
strikes me-
survival horror game.
Yeah,
It plays.
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't gotten too far into it, but it is striking me as Resident Evil meets Metal Gear. as far as kind of like weird, kind of future
Yeah, that's
spy
good.
world, and then controls like you're a tank. But like the lock on is pretty good. Like I have died a bunch of times, but the second run through it's not too difficult. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And then that made me really take that out and then just put the original Metal Gear Solid back in, and play that for way longer than I should have.
Impossible.
It, I don't know whether I've just played it too many times, but that game seems a lot easier than I remember it as a child. Like
That's
I
because
was
you know what to do.
blowing through that game. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is. Like, when that game came out, it blew my fucking adolescent mind out of the water, and just weird controls. Like, that's kind of picking that game up again. It's just kind of getting used to that.
It's pre-adolescence, right? I mean, that was like
I
11.
mean, yeah, probably early middle school, late elementary. No, probably early middle school, right?
Anyway,
1998. Yeah, I mean,
believe it was pre-pubes, but it definitely changed my world a
Pre-pubes.
little bit. That game does do things that you
For you.
shouldn't have been able to do in video games at that point.
but I'm kind of glad that it's very short, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow through this game and then play 2 again, because it's been even longer since I've played 2. And then I've never played 3 to completion, so
Oh,
You're crazy.
I'm gearing up. I
Snake
actually
Eater!
I
go
replayed
get your
4
completion.
recently for the PS3, which is a great game. And I'm kind of ramping up. Tokyo Game Show was this week, so or last weekend.
Tokyo the Game Show.
So I watching the Metal Gear stuff. I'm just fucking ramping up.
I love that they put the ghost from Silent Hill in there. I thought that's genius. I love
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about either.
Like
Yeah,
in the demo.
it's a decoy, and it's the ghost from the PT Jazz.
Which one? The creepy one in the bathroom, or the one that snaps your neck?
The one that snaps your neck, so of course.
Okay.
Like, why wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just that game. Every time I see something about that, I just get more and more fucking excited. So
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
the Metal Gear Phantom Pain, right?
Phantom Pain, yes.
Phantom Pain, yeah.
God,
I
Because
lost track of.
he's gonna have one arm.
no,
and-
I've never actually
That's-
beaten 2.
Two
You're a crazy person.
is
and
unbelievably
How have you-
wonderful.
what? How does this happen?
I
I
don't know.
haven't had any conniption.
I own it too. That's the thing.
It gets super weird. Like that game,
Yeah,
in my
that's the best
opinion,
part.
does not get going until like the last hour and a half, 2 hours of that game, where that game just goes off the fucking rails in the best possible way.
I think I got to the part where you fight, like the first time you fight Fortune for real, or something. Or I remember something about like a flooded thing, and I don't know, whatever.
You just need to
Eh.
you need to give that a shot. You need to carve out some free time and play through too. What we should do, or maybe you should wait, let me pound through Metal Gear 1, and maybe we should play it at the same time, and we can talk about what the fuck is going
How
on in
about
that
this?
game.
All right, you pound through Metal Gear 1, and then you both can come to completion all over Metal Gear 3. Because that's something
Okay.
you haven't done yet.
All right.
I've played
Then
3.
we'll
Like I beat 3.
and play some Snake Eater.
You beat 3, but you never
Yeah.
beat 2.
Yeah, and honestly, until I like really started playing it, I didn't even realize that 3 was supposed to be a prequel because I didn't look at anything up back then. I just thought,
You're
oh, a
just
new Metal
having
Gear
a
Solid
good
game.
James Bond time.
And I was like, hey,
I
this is
mean-
really sweet. And I was like, wait, I don't remember that. I don't remember him losing an eye.
Trying to get invested in the Metal Gear Solid fucking lore and what's a prequel and what characters go from game to game is a fucking losing battle. Like, I am super into Metal Gear, and that story makes no goddamn sense to me.
Well, you just don't get it.
No, nobody gets it.
Correct. I do not get the
You just
story of Metal
don't. You
Gear.
just don't get it.
something about the Patriots, something about fucking Outer Heaven, something.
Huge mech warrior.
My brother is in my enemy's arm or something. I don't.
You see, you don't even get it.
All right.
You don't even get it. You don't even like. Oh my goodness gracious!
So yeah,
You thought this whole time that Liquid was alive? Oh my goodness gracious!
So I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 1 games, and then still playing some more Mystic Ninja for the Super Famicom. That game continues to rock my socks. If you're looking for a good
That
fucking,
is so awesome that game is still
it's really fucking good.
Right.
I'm excited. Next time we all get together and have some game night, I am surely bringing that over for people to try because that game is old school platforming in the super fun way.
absolutely. Yeah, I'd be definitely down with playing that. It'll be a lot different or a lot better than Typing of the Dead or whatever the hell that was that we.
Hey,
Fuck you. That game is a
Hey.
gem.
I was really
That game
good.
is a gem. You were the worst at it. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
but I still enjoy. You don't have to be good
This
at
is
video
true.
games to enjoy them. If there's one thing I've learned in my years of video game playing is you don't have to be any good to enjoy playing video
I guess
games.
that is true. Yeah, I'm definitely pretty dog shit at some of my favorite video
It's all
games.
subjective.
All right, cool. So, anything else? Any other PS1 gems that you found out of obscurity?
I mean, both of those games I think are relatively popular, but nothing. I popped in Spice Girls and the Grinch, and both of those are terrible fucking games.
Spice Girls, spice up your life,
So you picked up Spice Girls at
but
a
not
consignment shop, is
instant
it?
speed.
Yeah, it
It
was
looks like a
like
hand
$2
store.
at a thrift store. Yeah,
Nice. I've
it's not worth $2. I regret that decision.
Well-
That game is hot garbage.
well, every boy and every girl, spice up your life.
Spice up your life.
Yeah, I want to go to more yard sales. I really do. But here's the issue. I rarely have off on Saturdays, and when I do, getting up at the butt crack of dawn is not that high on my list.
So I do not go to yard sales because I have zero luck at yard sales ever.
Yeah,
I have not gotten a decent game at a yard sale, and believe me, I try.
right.
But I get up at the ass crack of dawn and go to all my thrift stores. Fortunately, I have like 5 in my immediate area, and I create a route, and then I go to 3 first thing in the morning, and then I get myself a delicious large breakfast, and then I continue to go to the other 2. And that is my Saturday morning. That lasts me till about noon. And it's a good way to spend an early morning.
I guess
I
that's,
got-
that's
Good
a
way
fine
to
way to spend an early morning, but every time Ryan Blandy and I go to thrift stores, we find the same 3 Wii games.
I go to your thrift
Yeah, we
stores. I got a
find- we find hot
32X. I got
garbage,
some
You find golden gems.
I got a fucking Wavebird controller still sealed at your. That's where I got another PS2 at your Goodwill.
I understand. Would never see it. Never see any
You're
of that.
terrible at thrifting. You guys need to go with me one day. I'll come up on Saturday morning or Friday night, and we'll all wake up early. We won't drink. We'll be responsible
No,
adults.
we'll be responsible.
Yeah, that's
Never gonna
No.
happen.
We can drink on Saturday. We can drink after the thrifting with all of our sweet video game funds.
so
Maybe
we're
we
going to
could
bed
do
at like 7 o'clock at night so we can get up early and go thrift shopping.
No, I go to bed at 10, 11 o'clock on a Friday.
Are you
Nothing
coming
crazy?
this? Are you coming this weekend for Bernie's
No.
reunion? No.
No, I'm actually going on a mountain
Walkabout.
adventure. I'm going hiking with an old school friend.
Nice. Well, I hope you
Interesting.
enjoy it.
Yeah, no video games this weekend, unfortunately.
I
It
mean,
will be all outdoors and pooping in holes.
You have a DS. You have a 3DS.
That is an excellent point. I could bring the Vita, but I think my friend would fucking kill me.
I think honestly, you could bring a DS and play it nonstop, and still have battery life to spare at the end of your weekend. So.
I'm just worried about surviving this. I have not done physical exertion for months and months and months. So
Well, good luck
if
to you.
I'm not on the next podcast, I've probably been eaten by a bear or had a coronary attack on a trail. So
Well, the weather couldn't be better for you.
My money is.
Yeah, it's going to be like low 80s, high 70s. It's going to be a nice weekend.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet. All right. Well, I guess that rounds us out, right? That's what we've played.
Yeah.
We haven't played a lot, but that's okay.
Oh,
You don't always have to play a lot, boys and girls.
I enjoyed what I played, God damn it.
Yeah, and I enjoyed my one game of League of Legends. Joel enjoyed all of his games of League of Legends. Ryan Blandy enjoyed his game of Find My Penis.
Predestination.
Predestination, yeah.
All is destiny.
He did, yeah. Okay.
Destiny
All
is
right, so
Destiny's a Calvinist parable.
I've got Calvinist. They don't even
Yeah, don't they
exist.
believe in determinism or whatever you call that?
I think it's
Predestination.
Predestination, yeah.
Yeah, destiny. I don't.
I
It was a
think,
stretch. Fuck you.
I think that that's
Oh, that's a goodie.
all right. So let's talk about some things now. Let's talk about our most unsatisfying video game console. All right. So this one is the least satisfying video game console. And I guess we're going to start with Ryan Blandy, since you are so used to being unsatisfied.
Pass.
You have no console?
I
weren't satisfied with?
do like a lot of consoles.
Really? All right. You're going to pass, but we'll come back to you at the end.
It's fine.
All right. Ryan Hayes.
So, you know me. I am a collector of consoles. And I have bought a lot of kind of weird little handhelds and stuff like that. But very, very early on in my game collecting career, I got an Odyssey Magnavox 300.
Oh, no.
And I was super stoked. I thought it was this coolest little thing, and like I had never played like a proper original Pong, and like was, you know, didn't really have any kind of older systems, and like I'm like, oh, this is a great way to fucking start getting into collecting video games, like fucking Odyssey, Magnavox, Pong, home console. That thing took me more time to fucking get working on. It was not even a modern TV. Like, it was a fairly archaic TV. Fucking getting that thing functioning, getting anything to show up on the screen, getting the little knobs to respond, and just was not fun.
So was
Like,
the
not
Odyssey
responsive.
300 that you got?
Yeah, there was nothing on it. Well, okay, so it's like a 5-in-1. It is the shitty home console equivalent to like a 99 games in one, but from the 70s, where it's
Yeah,
like
70
it totally has Pong, and then it has hockey, which is just Pong, and there's tennis, which is also Pong, and there's some other weird game, which is Pong, but there's only one fucking paddle. Like, it is
Which is
just terrible.
all
And
is
it wasn't any fun, and it wasn't responsive, and I couldn't do well, and I had a bad time. I had a very, very bad time, and that very early on in collecting video games, until I moved to, like, proper cartridge consoles, like, I still, to this day, am very hesitant, even when I see, like, really old shit, to be like, I don't know if this is something I want to have for my collection after that.
It was bright fucking yellow too,
Yeah.
which is genius.
It's cool looking. It is
does
like
look
70s video
really
game
cool.
straight up.
Yeah, it looks pretty darn cool. And the typeface that Odyssey's in is like 2001: A Space Odyssey typeface.
Well, it was from the future. Like,
Right.
this video game console
was from
the
the
future
future.
of video games.
Right.
Like, it's Pong in your house. It's not that
You
thing
didn't say it
arcade,
was
it's
your
fucking Pong.
future.
Right. Well, it was the future in 1976, not in 1989 when he bought it. But
It was from 1993.
anyway.
No, I got it, I want to say, early 2000s?
Did you? What? Wow.
Like, I didn't start collecting video games for serious until after college.
So do you still own this piece of shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you where it is. It's buried in a box somewhere. I've never even attempted to unearth it since, but...
Nice. All right. Well, Joel, let's move on to you, sir.
Okay,
Most unsatisfying.
so I kind of have two. One is not technically a console, though. It is a console, but it's not a console. It was an add-on to a console.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
The 32X is a gem. How dare you speak unkindly of the Sega?
that. I hate that fucking thing, and I'm glad you understood exactly what I was talking about.
It's a
'cause
hot
that
piece of
thing
garbage.
was
It's
a
a
piece
giant
of
piece of
shit.
And
Okay.
especially for when it came out.
Yeah. The big thing with it is I just could never get it to work. Like I would spend half an hour, and like I'd be lucky if I could get it to work, and it just was very frustrating piece of garbage.
Games weren't that good.
No, I mean I got Doom, and that was like the only game I really liked. I
Wasn't
had
a great version of Doom.
No, I had Doom and I had Virtua Fighter. Virtua Fighter was okay,
I didn't
but
play Virtua Fighter on that. I think I have the Star Wars game for it as well, and
I
that's no.
I could just never get that piece of crap to work, and I
It's
just
because it didn't work.
it leaves a bad taste in my mouth every time I think about it. And I didn't even and it
It
didn't
does
even
look
pop
sweet
in
when
my
you
head.
have the 3 pieces assembled. When you have like
The trifecta.
the trifecta, the Genesis, the CD, the 32.
I would argue that the Sega CD is a piece of hot garbage too.
Oh, they're
Sonic
good.
CD is pretty much the only good part of the Sonic CD.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there a 32X Sonic game? There had
Not,
to have been.
not that I know of.
3D Blast. Was 3D Blast?
No, that was regular Genesis.
Really? Okay.
Yes, that was straight. I have that. But
So
that
they
was
just fucking bypass. They wouldn't even put Sonic on that piece of garbage.
No.
smartly.
What does that say about your fucking add-on?
Yeah,
Well, I don't blame them. Like
I don't either.
like at that point Sega was like raging hard on. Like they
Top
were
of the walk. Cock
they
of
were
the walk.
they were the cock of the walk.
Sonic 4. What? No.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ignore me.
All right.
I thought I found a 32X.
So I mean, that's not really a console though. I mean, I don't really consider that a console, but I had to kind of put
I
that.
think
up
they
there.
marketed it as a console.
Yeah, but
You're
it wasn't.
Right, it's not.
Knuckles Chaotic. That is the only licensed Sonic game, and that's not even a fucking Sonic game.
Gotcha. All right.
Sorry.
All right.
So then my least satisfying console, and it wasn't even a bad console. It was actually a very good console that I just picked up at a very poor time.
Dreamcast, huh?
The Dreamcast.
Ugh.
And I
Blasphemy.
love the Dreamcast.
It was
But
ahead
it
of its time.
It was.
It
And
was ahead of its time, and Skies of Arcadia was magic.
the unsatisfying part about that for me was that I got it for my birthday like a month before they discontinued making games for it.
Oh. Yeah,
So-
but they were all so cheap.
so
though. They were like
cheap,
$2 a game at a
Yeah.
certain point.
This is true, but this was I
But
don't
you
know.
get a console and know nothing will ever come out for it ever again.
exactly. So like you're stuck with a very limited set of games, and this was maybe what a year or two after it was out. It wasn't even out very long before it.
Yeah, before it bit the
Actually,
dust.
that's
Yeah.
not strictly true. Didn't they just come out with a new Dreamcast game like a couple years ago?
I have
That's not official.
Yeah, that was fan made.
They're still making games.
Yeah. Technically.
I mean, like I said, I was
They're still making games for the NES, man.
No, yeah, I
But it's
understand.
not
what you're saying,
official. It
Joel.
doesn't
Like
have
that
that
would.
Nintendo quality seal.
oh,
That's
they're
like
making
buying
some
a
pretty
fucking Virtual Boy before they were all 14 cents at KB, and they're like, "Well, we're not making this piece of shit anymore because it gives people seizures." And now there's 3 games. At least the Dreamcast had a decent library by the
This
time
is
it
true.
was retired.
I got a lot of good playing time. Like I played the hell out of Phantasy Star Online. That was the first that's probably not the first one, but it was one of the first major online games I got hooked on.
I never played that. I've heard nothing but amazing things about that.
Played it online all the time too. I mean, it was hacked to hell though. Like, I'm pretty sure I know half the weapons I had were not legal. Like, they should not have been. Like, I should not have had them basically. But
That's their own damn fault. They shouldn't have shut the goddamn console down, and people wouldn't have to resort to that shit.
This is true. But
story.
like I said, I got a lot of playtime out of it. There's some really good games for it, but it was just really unsatisfying because I got it at a terrible time.
Typing of the Dead, case in point.
Typing of the Dead, indeed. All right. Wonderful. I personally like the Dreamcast.
I do too, like I said, but it was
It
was
was.
the system
It was
itself
loud as hell.
satisfying.
I remember at one point you could buy them for $55 at Hills.
Yes, at Hills.
Yep.
I
That's
think
awesome.
I got my 32X actually was Hills.
Was Hills.
Yeah.
There's a nice little blast from the past that nobody knows about.
I don't know what Hills is.
You know what Hills is.
No, what the
You really
fuck
don't know what
is a
Hills is?
No.
It's a
Hills,
department
it was a
store.
department store.
Nope.
They used to have some pretty awfully creepy commercials too around Christmas time.
Yes.
Like, yeah, they were really creepy. Look it up.
That like a James way?
I've never been to a James Way, so possibly.
Was it a mall or a strip mall?
It was a standalone store
It
usually.
was a department store.
Yeah, it was a department store.
Ours was in a strip mall.
Was yours in a strip mall?
Yeah.
Ours was technically in a strip mall, but there was only like one other store in the strip mall. It wasn't.
The Hills actually got turned into a Giant, and now it got turned into a thrift store because they built another Giant right next to it.
Our Hills got turned into a Home Depot, and it's still a Home Depot. Anyway, all right.
The hills are alive.
Enough about this. My most unsatisfying console was the Atari Jaguar system.
You know, I don't think I've ever played the Atari Jaguar.
I have not.
Not missing much.
What if you were gonna recommend one game for the Atari Jaguar?
Wolfenstein.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe Alien v Predator.
Was that the Jaguar, the one that had the fucking number pad in
Yeah.
the middle of that piece of shit
Yep,
controller?
it did. Worst controller ever made. Absolute worst fucking controller ever made. It's enormous. It has a number pad in the middle that is bigger than any fucking phone number pad has ever been or ever had business being. And it had like 3 buttons on that stupid fucking controller that are impossible to get to because of the giant goddamn fucking number pad.
What did you have the number pad for? Were you like calling for pizza in the middle of a game?
There were certain games that you would have to have it for, and you could also use the number pad as like ancillary controls. So they would make these things, just button covers basically that would have different like things to like switch you to cockpit view or look right or look left. So it was basically an analog stick before they came out with analog sticks. You understand what I mean? But
Kind of.
It wasn't even an analog stick. It was just fucking 9 fucking buttons. Or
Yeah, they were just
12
ancillary buttons that developers could use for whatever the fuck they wanted.
Correct. So it was. It looked like one of the most open source video game consoles to come out. Like it looked like it would have been great. And I played. It was insanely expensive too. I remember. Like this console was absurdly expensive, and I think that's probably why it didn't move on. I never actually owned one. My cousin owned one.
Well, Atari was already on their way out too, right? That was their last-ditch effort.
Right. Yeah. And it was, I think it was their last console, period. No, they made like a flashback console or something like that at some point.
Yeah, but that was way after Atari got broken up.
Right. Yeah. That was like in the mid-2000s, I think.
Yeah, I have a couple of those.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
But yeah, this thing was just a pile of... It had potential to be good. It just never was. It never had the games that came out for it. The system died before that happened. So, I mean, you do have games like Alien vs. Predator that's pretty decent. Doom was on it, but it was a very inferior copy of Doom.
32X was better.
Wolfenstein was on it. What else do I remember playing? NBA Jam. But, I mean, this is all like...
You want a jam?
Right. And this
Take you to the slam.
This is all around like Sega Genesis era on a console that cost like 1.5 times as much and didn't look as good, and the controller was fucking stupid. So I don't know how they thought that they were going to pass, but
They thought they were going to take it into overtime.
it left me feeling unsatisfied. Anywho, so we already talked a little bit about news in the 125th birthday of Nintendo. It's also the 20th anniversary of Pulp Fiction, for any of you Tarantino files out there.
Boom.
Yeah, which is fun. That's a fun fact. But let's talk about other news. Does anyone have any great news stories? Some wonderful, wonderful news stories?
Kind of vaguely video. Well, it's video game related because no one's found a better fucking purpose for this thing yet. But the new Oculus Rift prototype Crescent Bay has been unveiled.
Yes, the Bay.
This one
Make security guards just fall over.
What?
You didn't see that YouTube video?
I did not.
No.
Yeah, they had like this the security guard try the roller coaster thing, and he fell over in the chair. It's rather funny. Go watch it.
All right.
Sweet.
Yeah, so this new one, it's 360-degree head tracking. It has basically little points on it so that an external camera can measure it. Excuse me. And the probably biggest addition, other than, decreased latency and better screen resolution, is the inclusion of optional built-in headset. So they're slowly building this thing to be kind of an all-encompassing unit. People are kind of complaining, like, well, I want to be able to use my own headphones, blah, 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 blah. So they've already kind of come out and addressed that it is optional, but they're supposed to be cost drivers, like actually really decent 3D audio headphones. So it's shaping up to be kind of an all-in-one solution. And then other than that, just a couple things came out of the Tokyo Game Show. A lot of new trailers. Probably the most notable is Final Fantasy 15, also known as Riding in Cars with Boys.
I know! It's going to be so fun!
It's a weird kind of... The limited footage that they showed is... I know no one gives a shit about Final Fantasy, but humor me for a moment. It's a road trip. You're in a car, you're like some sort of royalty or whatever, and you're in a
Hold on a
car
second.
with
You're in a
bunch...
car with your friends!
Hold on a fucking second.
Uh-huh.
It's a Final Fantasy game where you ride a car?
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy 15 Riding in Cars with Boys.
I thought that
It's
all you
based
do
on
is
the
ride
Britney
those fucking
Spears
chocobats in that fucking movie.
Well,
Or in
maybe
that
later
game.
on you do.
The car actually turns into a chocobo around
does
level
it?
15.
Whoa.
That's a lie. He's
Crazy.
making that up.
I need
No,
to play
it
this.
actually, it looks... Again, this is all very...
Preliminary.
brief impressions of what they're showing, but it looks a lot more open world as opposed to the
It
last
is,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy Corridor video game that they released. And some cool mechanics, like in combat, like it's very kind of party based, like, reviving people. It looks,
Well,
if anyone's played...
the gameplay is pretty much Kingdom Hearts.
I was
but it's
actually,
Final Fantasy.
I thought it was pretty similar to the new Xenoblade game. Seemed
that
kind
too.
of that
you
kind of
control
similar.
one person.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it looks
So-
pretty interesting.
It seems similar to most Final Fantasy games in which they're going to reel you in by giving you a little taste of the one thing that's interesting about the game, and then the rest of the game is going to be shit.
I hope not, because I'd really like to play another Final Fantasy game, because it's been a very long time since I've played a Final Fantasy game.
Well, for you, I hope that it is great and glorious and delightful.
I'll buy it.
They also, did we talk about this last week, but they announced the United States and EU release for Bloodborne. It is, okay, we already talked about that. I am super fucking excited.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's the new Dragon Ball Xenoverse game, which
Coming out soon.
actually looks like an open world fucking Dragon Ball game, which could be interesting.
It's what if you were at, what if you messed up with Frieza? Or what if you did this? Yeah, it's a what if.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Sounds
pretty
really
much
cool.
everything else is just kind of more footage of what we kind of already saw at E3. The only thing that really came out was the new Fatal Frame game, which is a survival horror game for the PS2 that was pretty freaking sweet back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But there are no plans for that coming to the US, so it's not even worth talking about.
Well, hopefully eventually it gets there,
They also released that there's going to be a Persona 4 DDR game for the Vita.
What? You mean,
Yeah,
you mean
well,
a rhythm
it's a
game.
rhythm game.
Yeah.
It's a
not
rhythm
DDR.
game
It's like
with the Persona music.
if anyone saw like the latest Hatsune Miku game, it's that kind of game.
I'm going to play it a lot.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'm a sucker for rhythm games. I think I've talked about that before, but
The new Final Fantasy one is great.
yeah. All right, gents. Well, I'm going to draw it to a close. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining us, anyway. We are your crew. It is Joel Hartlab,
See ya.
Ryan Blandy,
Just we Alu V.
and Ryan Hayes.
I'm gonna go back to playing PS1 games.